So what about, we've had some quite spectacular failures in the past from the commissioners and previous councils. Do you think those should be investigated for lessons learned so that you can make sure those kind of failures don't happen again?
Look, it's a good question. Personally, no. I think we've seen a lot of these deals, and what I can put my hand on my heart and say, well, I don't need to learn that lesson because I'm not going to do that deal.
No, but it's not just a governance failure. There's a lot of management failure in there as well. So it's still the same management in the council.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But again, all those things have to be signed off by governance.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, like we are, they've tried to push things through to us, and we have said no. We've pushed it back to them, and so I don't see the value in going and investigating something if we wouldn't do it that way. That's my personal view, and I know that's not shared around the whole council table, but we are very different now. Look, there was some spectacular failures in the past, and like something like the car park was an absolute disaster, but I contrast that now to what is happening at Te Manawa Take Papa, and whether you like that project or not, the way that is governed and managed, I have got a very, very high certainty that is going to be delivered on time and under budget. I have a very, very, everyone says it's going to blow out.
A big budget.
It is a big budget.
So could the budget have been, it's easy to meet a big budget as against a small budget. I mean, if you make the budget way over what it needs to be, it's very easy to meet, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I
that's what they were going to do with the aquatic centre. 120 million. Yeah, we can meet that. Yeah, very high chance of, but they can do it for a lot less.
Yeah, look, it's...
Sorry, could you say what it is that you're talking about?
You
said it to Mario, I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Sorry, Te Manawa Take Papa is the project in the centre of town. So that's the library and community hub, museum and exhibition centre. So that's all happening in the back of Bay Court there on that block. So that is that is being delivered. It's got a $306 million budget. It's about 20 odd million of contingency in there, but so we're just saying we don't want to spend the contingency if at all possible.
What about that 130 million funding gap? What's happened to that?
So it's about 110 million. So that's
Is that going to fall on us, on our narrow shoulders as we go like this?
Look, again, this is probably just the change from the commissioners, to us. Look, I don't agree with some of their accounting measures, and it's a little bit of sort of robbing Peter to pay Paul in some of the things they are. So look, I'll be completely upfront right now. The ratepayer is funding that $110 million. We're not going to try to hide that and try to say it's not happening. We are actively going out there trying to raise money through philanthropic donations, etc. Also looking at ways to sell some of the assets to recycle them into that project. So that was they sort of set this target, but Marine Precinct, another controversial one, but the way they accounted for that they sold that for $14 million. It had a $29 million debt, and they called that a $14 million contribution to Te Manawa Take Papa.
So now you're using it to pay the debt.
Yeah,
right? Which is more sensible.
Yeah, so what we've said, no, that doesn't go to Te Manawa Take, because we could say that goes to Te Manawa Take, and then you can go and pay off that $30 million debt as a ratepayer, and it's just kind of over here, but it's not part of that one, and that one's funding itself.
Yeah,
but
so there's a lot of, they had an amazing funding stack, didn't they? I mean, they were grabbing money off the airport, and there was some water.
Yeah, there's very
interesting approach.
Yeah, there's some waters funding from the Three Waters situation. They were giving away money to try to sweeten up councils. So, we've put that funding into.
Well, the commissioners did, the commissioners did, and they took money off the airport and money off here.
Yeah.
Stole money from the Mount, stole the Mount money.
So look, we will try to close that gap, but as it stands right now, so you've got the 150 that the commissioners split it and said the ratepayer won't pay more than the sort of 150 from the ratepayer, 150 from other means, and right now.
So, and they got it wrong.
Right now, as it stands, it's about 260 from the ratepayer, and no, it's not quite that much, but yeah, I think it's around about that.
Yeah.
It is about that much. So we will try to get that down, but we won't go and hide that money and say it's not from the ratepayer.
So we're starting to do proper accounting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's good. What about there's a budgeted, they're predicting a $30 million annual deficit for the city centre there. Do you think that's accurate, or is it going to be more than that?
Sorry, the
for the library and the CWM.
The OPEX costs. Look again, it's modelling its business cases. I'm not sure. It will be significant.
Can we afford that? Us poor, hard, done by struggling ratepayers, can we afford that?
Well, I think we can. And that's as part of when all facilities that we have around the city lose money effectively because there is a community benefit, and but that again is one of the things that we want to try to get to is actually being able to quantify what that is. So again, we can say to people, and we only do the projects that actually provide, if we're building a $10 million hall that's going to be used by 19 people, I don't think that provides a great community benefit. But, if you build that skate park for $3 million and, from 6 in the morning till 10 at night, you've got, 20 kids
that's
there
much better value
every hour, you go, well,
that's much better value.